One of the first questions you're probably asking is, what is a domain? A domain is the street address for your business on the internet. That's the easiest way to put it. So choosing a domain and building a website does not necessarily guarantee that you will get business, just like purchasing a street address and building a brick and mortar store doesn't guarantee that you will get business. Domain best practices and finding the right one for your business. Starting with searching for domains. Some good places to buy a domain are Namecheap, Google domains. I typically don't recommend, if they're also going to try to sell you a shared hosting or other service, I would typically steer away from those. If they're trying to sell you a package with the domain, I would say buy that separately. Certainly get your domain privacy from them, but don't get their hosting, and we'll talk about that later. Some great places to find a great domain are domainhack.me, and also just searching on Google Domains, Namecheap, and other sources that might indicate where a domain has recently expired. If you can look up expired domain search on Google, there's tons of different services that will pop up. One thing to consider is the shorter the domain, the better. Like we said earlier in the course, a domain name is like your street address. So it's all about location, where that street address is located on the internet. And one thing that helps tremendously is if your user is able to type in a short domain name when they're searching for it. Generally, you want your domain name to be as short as possible to make it easy for your users to remember, and also easy for them to type when searching. What is domain privacy? Domain privacy gives you an added level of privacy for your domain. You can look at a domain as your street address for the internet. Remember, you purchase and register your domain, you provide your ownership details. And some of these details are provided when someone looks up your domain, unless you have domain privacy. Domain privacy hides the name and physical address tied to this domain, and usually an additional few dollars when purchasing a domain. So once you've found a good domain and you've picked one out, now you're ready to purchase it. Where do you purchase it? Well, I purchase mine typically on Google Domains or Namecheap, but I highly recommend using several different searching tools to find it. And then once you've used those searching tools to find your domain, I will often search for a domain at different places and then purchase it from Google Domains or Namecheap or somewhere that I trust and already have several different domains. Just a few quick things to keep in mind when you're searching and purchasing your domain. Watch for hosting companies like GoDaddy or others that try to sell you a hosting plan with your domain. Stay away from the HostGators, all that mess, one-on-one. This often looks like a great deal since it only costs you a few dollars for super cheap hosting. But the truth of the matter is you get what you pay for, and what you're doing is you're sharing a lot of resources with other hundreds and thousands of other companies. So if they're doing any one of them is doing anything malicious, it's going to affect you and your website. So we'll talk about the pitfalls of shared hosting later. I just wanted to mention one of the things to keep in mind is don't order hosting when you purchase your domain as well. We'll talk about the reasons why later. Alright, so we've talked a lot about domains and how to do it. So I'm going to screen share with you and purchase a domain. Alright, let's do it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with Google and we will search domainhack.me. Jump onto the domain hacking tool. So let's say that we are so my name's Zach, and let's say we have, let's say I sell llamas, and my business is called Zach's Llamas, and I'm looking to get a domain. So let's say Zach's Llamas, and you'll notice the domains pop up with tons of different domain hacks. So we'll kind of look down through these. We have z.ac/llamas. Yeah, so none of these really look compelling to me. I don't see a .com. I really don't see anything that looks very good from an SEO perspective. Anything that we see after this backslash, that's going to be that's going to be kind of hard to host things from all this. So what we'll do is we'll jump into Google Domains and hop into find a domain, and we'll say Zach's Llamas. See what pops up there. And let's see, we have all sorts of different domains. See, we have the result, regular results, sorted by relevance. You can click this button to get all the endings, but we'll just look at the primary results because it looks pretty good. We have zaxllamas.com, $12 per year, and that's the cost to own this domain, just the domain, not the website. You'll have to purchase a domain and then the hosting separately. So we're in the process of purchasing that domain, and these are the prices to own the domain per year. Now you'll notice that it costs $12 per year. You're probably wondering, what does that go towards? That goes towards maintaining this domain for you, as well as just having the opportunity to host the domain, or to have the domain in general. So that's pretty much what you're paying for, and $12 per year is a very small amount of money. Comparing all these, we have Zach's Llamas, and I'll spell it with an H. So this is exactly the domain I would probably want, zaxllamas.com. We also have zaxllamas.org, .net, .us, and then it goes into ZACK, zaxllamas.com. So we have a bunch of different options here and a ton of different .coms. Don't expect this to happen for whatever you're looking for. Chances are what you're looking for is a little bit more common, or maybe not. Maybe you'll get a great search result like this as well. So anyway, so judging by these, the .com is definitely going to be the best because you can tell people to just type in Zach's Llamas and it will direct them to it. You can also see that .org is probably good. If you have an organization or a nonprofit or something, that would probably be the best pick. But since we're in this, scenario, I'm a llama salesman and want to sell llamas online. So we're going to pick zaxllamas.com. I'll go ahead and add this to my cart and start the process of purchasing the domain. You'll notice when I go to the checkout, we touched on domain privacy very quickly earlier on. So this is where you'll see that when you're purchasing your domain, you'll see it in your cart here. And as part of the registration, see privacy protection is on. So essentially your contact information won't be available to the public. And then I typically turn auto renew on, especially with such a cheap domain. It's only $12 per year. So let's go ahead and check out and purchase this domain. You'll notice it's asking me for all of my information. It'll ask for your name, organization, of course that's optional, address, your state, your zip code, as well as your phone number, and then your contact and email, which is pulled from whatever Gmail account you're using when you're purchasing this. So go ahead and enter that information and then purchase your domain, and we'll keep on moving on. All right, so you purchased a new domain. Now what? Well, time to understand enough about your domain to be able to use it, connect it to hosting service. So let's get started. Our next steps here are to quickly go over name servers and DNS. Now, if you purchase your domain from Google or Namecheap, for example, you likely won't even need to understand name servers because they're already set up for you. So feel free to skip the name server section and go straight to DNS if you purchase from those providers. But if you need help with name servers or just want to understand them a little bit better, feel free to watch the next video.